in the bottom left, starting location with that incredible build order in that last game. He is
So Dear.
And in the upper right, can he turn this series around? He is
MVP DongRaeGu.
He's got that nice pink mouse. Look at that. That's a man's mouse right there.
It is. Parting used to use that same one.
Yeah.
So it looks like I would not be too surprised if he's going to go for like a cannon rush here. We'll see if he sends a probe down to that natural to build the forge pretty soon. For DRG, though, yeah, it looks like absolutely this is going to be a cannon rush if DRG goes for hatchery first. But the thing is about DRG, I don't like this idea from DR, because if you look at all of DRG's CVPs, he doesn't let cannon rush happen to himself. He goes hatchery first almost every single time, but he always scouts for this.
Look at
if
his stats,
this catches
man.
him, I'll be so surprised.
23 wins, 4 losses if DRG wins the first set.
Damn, that is a lot of matches played. Now this drone comes down. The Overlord covering the other side of the ramp. He sees this. Now notice he's staying on that probe. And 2 more drones coming down. See, he's no fool.
Yeah,
again,
he already knew that strat was coming.
If you watch all of DRG's ZVPs, then you actually know that he cannot be cannon rushed. So I'm actually slightly surprised that Deer tried it.
Well, it's weird because, yeah, it's DRG, and then also I think nowadays the strategy not as effective as it used to be, at least on this map.
I think you have to know your player if you want a cannon rush.
Yeah, it's like when people see that, like, sometimes Hero doesn't scout right away, and then it's like, well, I can proxy gate him inside of his main.
Indeed. Yeah, we've seen a lot of things like that. And so that's kind of weird for me that Deer didn't do his homework. Like, for instance, if Sleep was this Protoss, I don't think he would have tried that. You know?
Yeah.
So, all right. That's going to put the fact that DRG is not taking any gas or anything, they're pretty even right here overall. Yeah, he made the early 4J, had 2 probes out, but he does make a lot of drones stay down there, kind of preventing the cannon rush from happening. So, no big deal on either side. Good play, good solid play by DRG.
Well, we're going to have some downtime here. Protoss has to build up and kind of show us what he does have planned here.
That core's got to finish, man.
That core's got to. That's the story of Protoss most of the time. Is
the only other. If it's not,
there's nothing else that we could say, man.
If there's not like a cannon rush, the only other thing that can happen is they only get 1 gas, and then I can tell you what the build is right there. But until the core is finished, that's the only. These are our only options right now.
Oh man, well I've been playing Battletoads on Nintendo for the Try Hard show.
How is that going?
I have gotten to level 7.
That's amazing.
I got past that race.
I bet you the people who programmed it didn't even know there were 7 levels.
You know what's so funny is the game is so hard. I'm just thinking, like, why did you guys make these other levels? Like, level 3 is so hard. Like, I'm sure 90%, maybe even more, and I don't think that's a made-up number. 90% of the people that got this when it was on Nintendo did not get past level 3. You know, like you programmed all this music. It's on each level.
That's so funny.
You designed the bosses, you know, all this stuff, and I'm just like, and the funny thing is, when I thought it was like a design flaw when I was playing at the level 3, the race on Battletoads. I'm like, well, this is just they spent a little bit too much time on the race, and then thought it was fair, and then didn't realize no, they're like it's pretty much impossible to beat, and then you just go to the next level, and it's harder.
Whoa!
And I'm like, what?
Harder than the race?
Yeah, I would say. Well, I think the race is one of the hardest parts, but there's several parts that are absolutely ridiculous. So I think
which race was it? The StarCraft 1 Terran, or?
By the way, we do know what the Protoss is doing now because we have Phoenixes coming out of the Stargate,
and he's getting 2 sentries right off the bat. So there's a few things this can mean. Saving up energy. This definitely could be like a robo coming up relatively soon. Into oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is actually kind of funny. Yeah. So this could just mean a really quick third, but we do have a lot of lings on the way for DRG with speed. So if he does move out for that really quick third, that could be a bit problematic. And he actually starts the +1 attack before any sort of robo or anything like that. This is kind of cool. Also, the one thing that we did not point out in the early game is that Deer skipped his cannon. Like, Deer is on top of it today. I think for sure he's getting out of this group, the way I'm watching him play. When you actually look at what your opponent's doing when you try to cannon rush and realize that you don't even need a cannon until just now, it's pretty good.
That's some
pretty
serious corner cutting.
Yeah.
And we actually basically never see that. I think it's one of these things that's programmed in most pro gamers' minds so much is just don't even get the cannon. I mean, or excuse me, always get the cannon.
Yeah, it is.
Like, no matter what, like, why would you not get the cannon? It's so much safer. But, yeah, I mean, if you know 100% that they're not going to attack you, skip getting the defense, tech up, and then get that later on.
And he has done that so well. Now, he started the +1. He's grabbing the gates after the robot. This definitely looks like a third base build that he's going for here. A lot of sentries being made, and DRG is going into Hydralisk Den. So this is a way that he really likes to play. A lot of Zergs are kind of playing like this recently.
You realize it's going to be a very weird day today if we have DRG and Sleep here in the...
or Deer and Sleep?
Well, I was thinking for the losers, actually.
Well, Sleep is in the winners.
I'm sorry. Well, I just bungled my sentence. If we had whatever. Yeah, if we had DRG lose here, this would be a weird day.
Well, DRG Sulky in the loser match would be kind of...
absolutely insane.
Like, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
The level just keeps getting raised here. Well, he's gone up to 5 Phoenixes, pretty standard. Going up to Colossus Tech as well, taking that third base. I like how, see, this third base, he took it slower than what I think his original plan may have been because of the Phoenixes flying around, seeing how many Lings were out there.
He's actually going to get an Overlord snipe here.
He's picking off quite a few drones as well. These Phoenixes being really, really worthwhile. Now, what does DRG do from here? Does he just go for a 4th base and play a macro-based game? I don't think so. I feel like he is going to try to grab some Corruptors out. You know, go like Ling, Hydra, Corruptor, and then maybe switch into Mutalisk afterwards.
I think the Corruptor switch is probably best if they were going Phoenixes, because you just suddenly the Phoenixes are not allowed to be used like they were before.
Well, when you get a lot of Phoenixes early game and you're focusing on upgrades and getting Colossus, you don't have a lot of anti-Corruptor. You know, you basically have
stalkers.
You have a ground-killing army. So that's something, it can work out very well for you. But the thing is, this map is not necessarily like the best for it. For instance, a map like Derelict Watcher, if you just make a bunch of Corruptors here, you're going to have a good time. But on this map...
You're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to have a bad time.
Well, you're going to have a much different time.
You're the ski instructor from South Park now?
Something like that. But in this situation, you know, these ramps are so small. This is such a force-fieldable map.
Yeah, that's very true. Spire's almost done. A few moments away from finishing, as is DRG's 4th base as well.
Well, we'll see what he does with this Spire as it finishes up. He's starting to put pressure on. He has to be very careful with this army, though. If he can cut this up and kill a whole bunch of it off, that's going to be huge. But actually, those Zerglings get on top of the sentries.
Whoa, the Mothership Core now going down.
Oh, very nice pick off there. Ends up losing 2 sentries, but keeps the Colossi all alive, and actually keeps most of the Phoenixes alive. That was pretty successful. That was a mistake by DRG, that one.
And following up with Blink, which means he could have a very powerful counterattack here.
Yeah.
On the 4th or the 3rd, or even going into towards the main here if he wants.
I think what he's counting on here is that while he's going to end up losing every Colossus, he's going to have so many gateways with so many Stalkers with Blink and +2 that he might be able to overpower DRG. Because DRG is going so anti-air right now with this many Corruptors. He's already got 10
Do you think he
out.
might stop Colossi production?
I think after the 3rd one, yeah. Well, actually, he's starting another Stargate, which means he will be going for Colossus Void. So, that makes it no. Two different ways to play it.
You could see DRG now trying to move in again over here, passing through the middle of the map. Colossi need to back up here. There's a good amount of Corruptors that could wipe out these Colossi with ease, but some Stalkers now being warped in to possibly cover the Colossi from the low ground.
And look at this. He leads with the Corruptors way ahead. That's a really nice move. Notice how these Hydras stay out of range of these Colossi so far. This is a great engagement so far by DRG. The thing is, the army of Deer is really scary indeed.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to take out all those Colossi, so now it's just Stalkers. But another warping round is coming in here. You know, the question is DRG actually attacking in here with enough? Nothing to cover the Hydras just yet.
Well, he certainly will end up losing all these Hydras, but I feel like he's done the right amount of damage here, Tasteless, even getting that additional Colossi, and he's going to get out with some of the Corruptors. Of course, these Hydras, well, they have the speed upgrade, so they can retreat, unlike...
And, you know, nice job by him getting rid of the Cybernetics core so only Zealots can be made.
Oh,
that's really annoying.
That's actually a really good point. That means he can just keep on rallying down, because as long as he keeps the Hydras alive, Zealots are crap.
Yeah. Zealots are not going to be anything that's going to be effective here. Now, as you can see, DRG trying to go in here and attack the third, and 15 Mutas are on the way as well.
See, this is exactly how DRG likes to play. He has executed it beautifully, and Deer is in so much trouble.
Yeah, I think with the next set of Mutas coming in here, there's a high chance that he's just going to lose. You can see the Hydras are just targeting down these Stalkers, and Deer right now probably breathing a sigh of relief saying, okay, I'm still in this, but in fact, there's a huge air army flying towards him right now, and there it is.
You know, he is right now making Phoenixes out of 2 Stargates, but it's too little too late. He's making those cannons. He knows what DRG's up to. This is what DRG really does like to do. You know, kill off as much of your army as he can and go into Mutalisks. How much damage will he get done here? The thing is, he still has some Corruptors as well, so I think the best Deer can hope for here is to really turtle like mad and maybe hit a big base trade.
Yeah, I don't even know about that. I don't.
Well, he's getting Fleet Beacon, so he's definitely going to be turtling for quite a while. He's going to be getting that Phoenix range. The thing is, DRG should be able to take like 2 more bases and take up to anything he wants.
Yeah, or he might be able to just smash him right here. I mean,
maybe
the combination of the Lings and the Mutas coming up here.
And those Corruptors covering the Phoenix is having such a hard time actually engaging anything here. More Lings
Stalkers against Ling Muta is just not going to cut it.
And DRG going to be taking this one, Tasteless. He's killed off all those Phoenixes. No way to come back. GG.
All right, game number 3 it is. That was very nicely done there by DRG.
That was exactly how DRG likes to play this matchup. Get some Lings and Hydras, do the big Corruptor pump, kill off your army, switch into Mutas. Now, he engaged so perfectly with that first Corruptor engagement. The amount he led, too many people like attack in at the exact same time with Corruptor and Hydra. He led with the Corruptors, knowing there wasn't enough anti-air, so that the Corruptors actually could be in there alone for a little bit, attacking the Colossi. And then he kept his Hydras out of Thermal Lance range, because what you need to do when this is happening is make sure that you kill enough of their Hydras that your gateway units can end up clearing everything out.
Yeah, but when those Corruptors, which, look, once the Colossi are done, the Corruptors are not that necessary anymore. I mean, you want to move them out.
Yeah, you want to save them, but if they die, it's not as big a deal.
It's not the end of the world, and by then, the Colossi haven't done the amount of damage they need to do for how much they cost. And it just allows DRG to take that lead, and yeah, that tech switch there at the end is absolutely brilliant.
It's so powerful.
It's common for Protoss to get stuck going only Stalker when they get behind.
And you can't go only Stalker against so many Lings, so you have to start Colossus again, and your army is in shambles. To stop those Mutas is near impossible.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the army composition goes, it's basically checkmate there. The Zerg has what it takes to just run him over.
Well, our next map, Yonsu. I don't think that this will be... Oh, God, that pun is not going to come out right. I'm just going to be quiet.
All right. Let's go into the next game and see who's going to be the winner here to go into the winner's match. It's going to be right after this best of 3 here at the GSL.